The Great Awakening is here now. It is not something that we are waiting for. It's not something that's happening in the external realm. It is here within each and every one of us. So I felt like it would be a great theme, a great topic to channel on today, how best to navigate this and to explore it in that way. My name is Serenity Iris. If you are new here, welcome. I am an intuitive guide and channeler. I tap into wisdom from my higher self and other guides as well from time to time. And so we will see, we're going to tune in with today. It might even be the collective council. I know they have been sharing a lot of wisdom through me, so that's feeling like very, very likely, but we shall see. And so that's the main theme. I do have my own personal experiences around it, and what I'll do very likely is kind of do a debrief and explore some of the things that do come through in a channeled way, and also where I share my own personal experiences and perspectives. But for now, we're going to tune in, get through the channeled message, and see what comes through. So I will be closing my eyes. I'll just ground and then connect and start with the intention, and we'll see what flows through. Oh, we are so delighted and grateful to be with you now, and we thank you for this invitation to be present. We understand that you have a question around the navigation of this great awakening. And yes, it is here now. It is not some great event that is off in the future. It is here now, now, now with you all. For those of you who choose to navigate it consciously with full depth of awareness, you will be noticing great sensations, great insights, great emotions, thoughts, and will be able to perceive on an even greater, deeper level. And for those of you who are not yet certain about this great awakening and what it even means, you are still going through your own personal shifts, and the shifts may or may not be as perceptible to you. With the intention and the question, how best to navigate this great awakening, this comes with the assumption that you are quite aware and curious and willing and eager to ride this incredible moment of ever expanding awareness and experience. So we remind you, as the collective council, that you are here to experience life on earth to the greatest and fullest degree, which will be varied and different amongst you. And collectively, you are all contributing your unique expressions, your unique perspectives to the greater growth of all. Yes, there have been many changes and perceived chaos in the world, and we encourage an eye of neutrality, which is to say that when the judgment of whether it is good or bad or wrong or dark is removed, you are able to see with a greater clarity, and you will be able to pull from your own experience and the way something reaches you, the way it touches you, the way you experience it in your own unique from your own unique vantage point. And this is why you are here, to experience all of life. So when there are external circumstances and changes and shifts and things moving in new directions, this is an even greater opportunity to break free of the repetitiveness of patterns that have been more deeply ingrained. And so when those older patterns are on a certain kind of an autopilot, you get used to a certain type of experience so that you are almost blind or numb to that way. So when you see disruption or what you perceive as chaos or major changes happening externally, it is an opportunity for a kind of a renewal, a refreshing, a reset of your perspective, your perception, the way you are able to see with a greater focus, with a sharper eye, from a different angle perhaps. And this will take you quite far. And as you're observing something on the outside, remember that it is actually pointing to deep things within yourself. So it is the mirroring effect of what is happening outside is ultimately what is actually happening within your being, within your soul, within your experience, even down to the level of your cells. Now, everything is interconnected. So what you see on a grand, larger scale externally is happening at the micro inner level internally and at the smallest levels. From the smallest levels, you are able to expand and see the wider range of it all. So there is this very beautiful, beautiful experience of being able to see from many different vantage points. And that is one of the greatest gifts that you get to experience on Earth. Many of you will be picking up information not just through the physical senses. You will be picking up much information through the physical senses as well. But in addition to that, you will be able to perceive on different levels, heightened levels, where perhaps once before you were not able to access those pieces of information, insight, creativity, downloads. And more you are able to recognize this, see this, enjoy this, feel this, and not only to recognize and perceive it, you are able to work with it. You are able to move it into form. So you are able to take frequencies that you were previously not perceiving. You are able to perceive them now. You're able to see them or notice them or hear them or pick up on them. And from those frequencies, you are able to then create and translate it into form, into manifested form. This is a beautiful time of great creation. So when there is perceived disruption or perceived chaos, it is like a time when the earth is being turned and the soil is being prepared for the next seeds to be planted. Things are being stirred up and they will settle in a way that works in alignment for the seed to then be nurtured, but to prepare the soil, if it is very dry and rock hard, there is not the space for the seed to be implanted into that soil. So we are talking about a level of creation that has always been with you. This is not new. However, the exploration and the experience of it is expansive. So at its root, it is working with the synergistic energies coming together, the seed and then the earth that is able to nurture. And by earth, we mean, yes, the physical soil of your physical planet, the earth, and also the earth that is you, that is within you. So your ability to take a seed, it can be the seed of an idea, inspiration that drops into the earth of your being that is able to then give life and manifested form. That creation, that creative process is at the forefront of this great awakening. So things are quickening, they are coming to fruition much more easily, readily when you have your channels clear and open and ready to receive, so that there are no barriers that are getting in the way of this beautiful process. And so things that can impede this natural process are doubting, are judgments. So doubts and judgments, these can act as barriers that become set up. So there's an illusion of separation. Oh, this is good, but this is bad. So we judge this to be not good for one or for all. And in that judgment, it is like an act of separation, which is the other direction versus that wholeness, that coming together, that unity, that creative force of bringing these forces together. When there is judgment, there is quite a significant separation. And this really is an illusion, this separation from the creative source is in fact an illusion, and yet it is also part of the tapestry, because with that illusion of separation, we are able to then more strongly come back together to the creation. So it is this dynamic that flows from the outer edges, the boundaries, only to circle back to the source of creation. And so no matter where you are, where you happen to be feeling that experience is wondrous and it is perfect. And there is always that center. So removing the doubts, removing the separation, the judgments, by embracing that full love and acceptance, allows you to access that center immediately. And so while we are sharing words, much of this is also an energetic and frequency transmission. We are aware of the fascination and the use of various technologies, and we will continue to speak more about this at different points. And just to start the conversation is that the technology, the instrument that is you, is so much more profound than many of you realize. And many of you are starting to tune in and recognize this, is that your bodies are able to create and do so much more than you have given it credit for. And you will start to notice this more and more and more. There is often a recalibration process where oftentimes different sensations will be experienced that are unfamiliar, that are new, and it is not meant to be taken as something to be frightened of or to be concerned about. It is your body recalibrating to new frequencies that it is open to. Your bodies have always had access to it, but think of it as if they were dormant aspects to you that are awakening, that are emerging, that are being activated. So, like with any instrument, if you are new to it and you do not yet know how to play it proficiently, like with a musical instrument, perhaps you can hold it, perhaps you can see it and smell it and move with it, yet it is not producing the beautiful music just yet. This is where your acknowledgement of the instrument that you have been gifted is one of the initial steps to take. And yes, there is direct communication. There is the creative source in every cell within you. And there are many who are here present, who are here to be able to facilitate, to be able to help guide the greatest, the most efficient, the most beautiful ways for you to access. And yet you will be the one accessing your instrument directly. And just like the beautiful musicians of your earth, the beautiful athletes, the artists, they will have gone through various levels of training, of inspiration, of guidance, so that their greatest potentials are able to flow through and be fully expressed. And so do use your discernment, your way of navigating who you are most drawn to, whether it be a living being now or perhaps someone who has left their wisdom to be shared with many, many others. Use your discernment, see what is of the greatest and the deepest resonance for you, and open up to the greater possibilities that you yourself may not have experienced fully or recognized fully just yet. So you are all here, both as individuals and part of a beautiful collective whole. And more and more and more, you are experiencing this simultaneously. They may seem to be at odds with each other, and that was in a time when separation was much more dominant. And yet now, in this time, it is much more about the unity and your ability to navigate the different expressions, different dimensions, frequencies simultaneously. And this is happening for many, many, many of you. Key indicators as to whether you are more experiencing the separation or lack or fear or scarcity is feelings of loneliness, of disconnection, of confusion. And to be able to come back to that center, to come back to your center, your creative source, being in love and appreciation for the current state that you are in now, without trying to resist it or change it immediately, just fully allowing with deep love and reverence, with gratitude, is what is recommended. And what this does within your wondrous body, your beautiful instrument, is that it creates space and allowance for all frequencies to exist within you. And as you allow and accept all frequencies within yourself, you then have access to even greater levels of awareness and greater levels of frequencies. With that full embrace and that full accepting, then it is like if you imagine an elevator where you're able to navigate up or down, or even sideways, outwards, or more concentrated inwards, you are able to then move through it. When there is judgment, that causes separation, and in that separation there's this isolation of that particular frequency or that state, which is why many feel stuck or trapped or boxed into a certain state. So the immediate shifting of it is not necessary, which is interesting. This time that you're in, this great awakening, there are things that will sound very contradictory, yet when you're wanting to change the state that you are in, for example, the full acceptance and the embracing of it, which may sound like the exact opposite to what you want and desire, is the key, is the gateway for you to be able to shift it quite naturally. So we encourage you to navigate your own personal awakening with this very powerful tool. Practice it in many ways. You will get many, many opportunities. If you are feeling even slightly off center and not as connected to your creative source, you may continue to embrace, accept, love, be in gratitude of wherever you are, in order to then be able to shift it without the expectation that you are doing this to shift it. You just simply are one. You become one with that. And as you do that, so much lines up. You enter into a state of full coherence and oneness, with that unity. And from there, you are then able to select whichever frequency you choose. More on that later. For now, we are complete. We thank you very much for this opportunity to share with you. We come by invitation and we see the beautiful work that you are doing, and we are in full support of you with great love and reverence for your dedication and commitment. Thank you. They had a lot to share with very specific instructions on how to navigate our state. Similar guidance has come through before, but that was very, very specific to how to shift to first embrace and accept whatever state. And if we're even at all a little bit like off to the side of center or like way off center, to be able to embrace that, love that, and be in full gratitude of that, and having that be like the doorway, the gateway to be able to then access different frequencies. That was pretty cool. I'm gonna be listening back to this because I'm sure as I go back through I'll recognize all that was shared. So there you have it. That was the Collective Council. So if you're wondering who the Collective Council are, they are a voluntary group of beings of different dimensions, star families, who've come together for the purpose of positive, loving guidance. And they don't really differentiate themselves, at least my experience up until now, not so much. They speak as a unified collective, and it's not all beings. It's very much voluntary. They're in it to support us because we're the ones on earth having our physical experiences. And so far, what's come through is that they're always wanting to empower our own connection and to awaken and even activate what's already within us. So I do have different offerings. There was one where it was like basically a series of very powerful frequency activations. Um, so that was the Purpose and Prosperity frequency activation series. They come through in channeled healing sessions if that is the right thing for the individual. If you're kind of curious and want to be able to shift your state immediately or within a few minutes, I do have a free vibration shift sample in the description. It's totally free. Everyone who does it loves it, and it's just a super fast way to get connected with that creative center, to allow yourself the gift and that joy of being in that state. And then where you want to take it from there is totally up to you, but that sample is my gift to you. I've helped many people we meet regularly from all over the world to enjoy that vibration shift. So that's something that you can check out. That'll be in the description. It's a beautiful resource in these interesting, changing times. And of course, if you have resonated with this, please do subscribe. It makes a difference in terms of having these beautiful messages reach more people. And if you feel so bold, I would love to hear what most resonated with you and maybe how you're using any of these insights. As you share, what you're going to be doing is anchoring it even more deeply for you. So, sending you a lot of love and gratitude for you being here. I'm so grateful to just be sharing this and having it come through. So, the support of a comment or liking or sharing with others actually is a way that you can also give back. All right, my name is Serenity Iris. You can check out serenityiris.com if you're curious to learn more. If you want to check out the free vibration shift sample, it's in the description and the link. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.